from the DG for enlargement and neighborhood policies is in town. Was here in town today. I had several meetings, and I think I'll just give him the floors maybe to wrap up his visit and impressions that he is taking with him after one-day visit. Christian,
thanks a lot, Ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here in Skopje today. This morning I had a chance to, with you, Ambassador, launch this new outreach of the EU to municipalities. Imagine the future together, which aims at further strengthening our partnership. That is essential because the municipalities will play a very important, already plays an important role, and will play a very important role in the future in our engagement and our relations. And I also had a good opportunity to discuss with mayors the involvement of the EU at the local level, be it in the area of agriculture, or be it in the area of education, or be it in the area when it comes to investments in transport or energy, or for that sake when it comes to the environment. And also to ask them, what do they see is important in our cooperation? How can we help them to move forward when it comes to providing better life for the citizens in their municipalities? And we also discussed issues relating to the EU path and the municipalities' very important role when it comes to seeing to that the EU legislation is being implemented and put into place. I also had the opportunity to meet with Prime Minister Zaev and representatives of the government, as well as the leader of the main opposition parties. And I will have a meeting after this one with representatives of the civil society. Our message to everyone in our meeting is clear. We welcome the courageous agreement reached with Greece on the name issue. This agreement is a historical breakthrough and recognized as such by the entire international community. It sets an example not only for the region, but for Europe as a whole. And your leaders have shown leadership and vision, and they have been driven by the desire to overcome nationalism and obstacles of the past. Now, on 30th of September, you will have the unique opportunity to, and that is also the message we sent, to shape the future here in this country. And I think the message we sent was that we strongly encourage all to make their own informed opinion about the content of the name agreement. And that is now online, and the consequences of the referendum as such. And at such an important time for the country, I think we have been very clear that it's important to exercise the democratic rights and cast the votes. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to decide on this important issue. And it is also clear that that referendum will be essential for the future step when it comes to Euro-Atlantic integration. The road ahead for this country is clear. It leads towards EU membership, and the Commission is strongly committed to accompany this country in its reform efforts and to turn the EU perspective into reality. And as a sign of our support and as part of the preparation for opening accession negotiation, during his visit in July, Commissioner Hahn launched the screening process by which the ministers here will be further familiarized with EU legislation. And the Commission will be able to evaluate the preparedness to implement EU legislation, starting with the crucial area of rule of law. But that is what we are going to focus on now in the coming weeks and months, and it will be a very demanding process. And this is in parallel with the reform agendas, which we also have discussed today, important one in areas such as fighting corruption, fighting international organized crime, but also improving the situation of the judiciary, addressing the issue when it comes to public administration, and also put into place all elements when it comes to the electoral reforms that has already been identified by the international organization OHDHR. So this is what we have been doing today, and these kind of meetings will be recurrent. It's natural, as we are engaging more and more, that we are going to have more and more contacts together. And I think I'll stop here.
Okay. Thank you. We open the floor for possible questions. You take over. Yeah.
So I have 2 questions for you. First is, you met over the common, probably leader over the common. Is their decision about a referendum, and if it's not, what is your opinion about their tactics that prolonging the kako da kažem taktiziranje tactics about a referendum, they will go out or not. If you I can put this question on Macedonian. Што ќе кажете за нивното тактизирање околу изјаснувањето дали ќе околу референдумот дали ќе излезат или не? Второто прашање околу реформите кои треба да ги спроведе владата, кои во јуни 3 задачи кои ги даде Европската комисија. It's okay? I will repeat, sorry.
No problem. Is it 0 or 1 or is it 2?
I will repeat then. Првото прашање. Се сретнавте со главната опозицијска партија. Дали ви го кажа својот став околу референдумот, дали ќе излезат или не? Доколку не, кој е вашето мислење за нивното тактизирање за изјаснувањето за референдумот? Второто прашање е околу реформите кои треба да ги клучните реформи кои треба да ги спроведе владата по 3 прашања кои Европската комисија ги постави во јуни. Дали имате проценка до каде е спроведувањето и кога би имало извештај за тоа и колку може да влијае врз целиот процес? Благодарам.
Tatmina Liu, TV21. Mr. Commissioner, can you tell us, because most of the people and politicians in Skopje are saying that these referenda is like choosing between East and West, choosing like, if I put it even more blankly, choosing between Russia and Europe and the States. So is it that the message that you could pass to the public opinion in here? And yes, is the boycott of referenda one of the options or not? And how can the EU see it as a valid result of the referenda if the opposition will more probably boycott it, or you may have another option that we not know yet? Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Let me start with the referenda. I mean, we are not part of the campaign, that's for sure. It's a campaign here in this country, and it's not for us to be part of the campaign. But what is clear is that the referenda is essential. It's very important. The issue that is raised in it is essential for the future path of the Euro-Atlantic path of this country. What we have said today is that what I said today is that the international community has welcomed the result of the discussions between Greece and this country on that issue and what is now on the table on the name issue. And that what is on the table on the name issue, if it is being adopted fully, will open up for the start of accession negotiations with this country. That is the reality, and the condition that other elements also are fulfilled as set out in the decision from June last year. What I tried to make clear today was that it is important for the citizens here to use the opportunity that this referendum gives to cast their votes, be part of it, be part of deciding on this important issue. And therefore I think abstaining is something which from our point of view, is not going in that direction. So we would very much argue for taking part, for all citizens here to take part in the referenda and cast their votes. Now, with the opposition, we had discussions about reforms. We also had a discussion on the issue of the name issue, and my understanding is that they are still contemplating which position they are going to take in view of the referenda on the 3rd of September. And you had also a question on what this is about. I mean, the referenda is on the name, the result of the discussions on the name issue, and that is what it's about. It's clear that if that comes into place, as I said, then it will open up the path of Euro-Atlantic integration, both when it comes to NATO and to the EU, and that is what it's all about. And then there was the questions on the key reforms. There are, as mentioned in the decision from June, I mean, there's a clear determination from the government and the representatives of government we spoke to today to both to recognize what is called for and also to work on addressing them. And what we discussed today was how we can be supportive to these efforts. It's substantive issues. There needs to be steps taken when it comes to the judiciary. There needs to be continued steps taken to fighting corruption. There's a law of corruption which is important in that context. There is the whole issue of the intelligence, what do we call it, intelligence reform? Intelligence reform, that needs to also to be addressed. I mentioned the electoral reforms that also need to come forward, and there are continued steps when it comes to public administration, just to mention some of them. We will now use the time, and that's also our role, to have a very close dialogue and discussions with the government and the authorities here, and also others who are involved and interested in the subjects, in order to make it very clear what our view is on what needs to be done, and also to the extent we can help and support these efforts, we will do our utmost. I don't think that's the question. That's not the question. The question is the Euro-Atlantic path and the fact that the name issue, or the name agreement, or what we call it, will open up for that path in a very clear way. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Now talk between Kosovo and Pristina and Belgrade, the presidents now which are talking. And I was wondering if you see any link between the two, or for the regional stability, so whatsoever, that the two presidents talking about changing the borders or swapping lines. I'm pretty much sure that you heard about it.
No, this issue we haven't discussed at all today.
No, I don't mean today, but I mean
no.
In general as EU as such.
You know, that is something which, no, we haven't been to that subject at all.